Hi, if you have an own AI code base and want to download and use the Expert Advisor built in this video, just click on the link below.
In this video, we are going to create an expert advisor that uses the commodity channel index indicator to open buy and sell positions based on momentum shifts, while implementing a trailing stop mechanism that adjusts the stop loss based on recent price extremes. Let's see how we can do that. We start Metaeditor by clicking the little icon in the toolbar or by pressing F4 on our keyboard. This opens the Metaeditor window where we can create our new expert advisor file. The first thing we need to do is include the CTrade class from the standard library. This provides us with simplified trading methods like PositionOpen and PositionModify that make it easier to manage our trades. We include this by writing include Trade Trade.mqh at the top of our file. Next, we create an instance of the CTrade object with default parameters. This object will handle all our trade operations, including position management throughout the expert advisor's operation. We name this object Trade. Now we define our strategy configuration parameters. These are all adjustable in the EA properties window when we attach it to a chart. We create an input integer called loopback bars with a default value of 50. This determines how many historical candles we use to calculate the highs and lows for our trailing stop mechanism. The range is from 1 to 1,000 candles. We add another input integer called minCandlesback with a default value of 5. This parameter ensures that the high or low points we identify are at least 5 candles old, preventing us from using very recent price extremes that might be part of the current price action. The range is from 5 to 50 candles. We include an input double called trailing offset with a default value of 10.0. This represents the safety margin in points that we add to our trailing stop level. The range is from 1 to 20 points, giving us flexibility in how close we want our stop loss to be to the price. Finally, we add an input integer called ICCI period with a default value of 14. This is the period used for calculating the commodity channel index indicator values. We declare several global variables and handles that will store state between ticks and hold our indicator data. We create an integer variable called CCI handle to store the handle for our CCI indicator. We declare a double array called CCI buffer that will serve as a ring buffer for storing CCI values. We also declare an MQL rates array called price data that will hold our OHLC price data. The expert initialization function is executed once when the EA starts. This is where we set up our indicator. We create the CCI indicator handle by calling ICCI with the current symbol, the H1 timeframe, our CCI period parameter, and using price_typical as the price type. This gives us access to the CCI indicator values. We configure our arrays as time series using ArraySetAsSeries. This means the newest data will be at index 0, which is the standard format for MQL5. We apply this to both our CCI buffer array and our price data array. The function returns init_succeeded to indicate successful initialization. Now we create our position opening functions. The open by position function executes market orders for buying. We first get the current ask price using symbol info double with the current symbol and symbol_ask parameter. This ensures we get the precise price for order execution. We then execute the buy order using Trade's PositionOpen method. The parameters are the current symbol as our financial instrument, order_type_buy for a long position, 0.10 as our position size in standard lots, which equals 10 micro lots, the ask price as our entry price at the current ask, 0 for initial stop loss, which means it's disabled, 0 for take profit, which is also disabled, and CCI position as our position comment. The open sell position function works similarly for selling. We get the current bid price using symbol info double with symbol_bid. We execute the sell order with the same parameters, except we use order_type_sell for a short position and bid price as our entry price at the current bid. The main price update function on tick is executed on every tick and contains our core strategy logic. We start by retrieving historical price data using copy rates. We copy data for the current symbol on the H1 timeframe, starting from candle 0, for loopback bars number of candles, into our price data array. We load CCI values from the indicator buffer using copy buffer. We use our CCI handle, buffer 0, starting from candle 0, for loopback bars number of values, into our CCI buffer array. We then check our position status to determine if we have any open positions and what type they are. We initialize has open position as false and current position type as position_type_by as a default value. We scan through all open positions by looping backwards from positions total -1 down to 0. This reverse iteration ensures safe modification of positions. For each position, we get the unique ticket number using PositionGetTicket. We check if the position belongs to the current symbol by using PositionSelectByTicket and comparing the symbol string. If we find a matching position, we set has open position to true and store the position type. We exit the loop after finding the first matching position. For trend detection and position management, we implement our buy condition. This occurs when the CCI crosses above -100, indicating potential upward momentum. We check if CCI buffer at index 1 is below -100 and CCI buffer at index 0 is above -100. If we don't have an open position, we call open buy position to open a new buy trade. If we already have a buy position, we identify the low point for our trailing stop. We use ILowest to find the index of the lowest low in the last loopback bars candles. We get the actual low price from price data at this index. We check if the low index is at least min candles back old and if the current close price is above this low. If both conditions are met, we calculate a new stop level by adding trailing offset multiplied by _point to the last low. We then call process trailing stop with this new level and position_type_by. For our sell condition, we look for the CCI crossing below +100, indicating potential downward momentum. We check if CCI buffer at index 1 is above 100 and CCI buffer at index 0 is below 100. Similar to the buy condition, if we don't have an open position, we call open sell position. If we have a sell position, we identify the high point using IHighest to find the highest high in the last loopback bars candles. We check if the high index is at least min candles back old and if the current close is below this high. If conditions are met, we calculate the new stop level by subtracting trailing offset multiplied by _point from the last high. Then call process trailing stop with position_type_sell. The process trailing stop function manages trailing stops for both buy and sell positions. It takes new stop level and POS type as parameters. We iterate through all open positions in reverse order for safe modifications. For each position, we select it via ticket number using PositionGetTicket and PositionSelectByTicket. We apply position filters to ensure we only modify positions that match the specified type and belong to the current chart symbol. We get the current stop loss value using PositionGetDouble with position_SL. For buy positions, we update the stop loss if the new level is higher than the current stop, or if there is no existing stop loss. This ensures our stop loss only moves up, protecting profits. We use Trade. PositionModify with the ticket number, new stop level, and 0 for take profit. For sell positions, we update the stop loss if the new level is lower than the current stop, or if there is no existing stop loss. This ensures our stop loss only moves down for short positions. The modification uses the same position modify method. After completing our code, we press F7 to compile it. The compilation should complete without errors if everything is correct. If this was too fast for you or if you don't understand what all the code is doing, you might want to check out the premium course on our website, or watch one of the basic videos first to get a better foundation in MQL5 programming. Once compilation is successful, we go back to Metaeditor by pressing F4 or clicking on the icon. Back in Metaeditor, we press Ctrl and are to start the strategy tester. We pick the expert advisor that we have just created from the list, enable the visual mode checkbox, and start a strategy test. We should now see the expert advisor running on the chart, opening positions based on CCI momentum shifts and adjusting trailing stops based on recent price extremes. If you are already a premium course member and have an idea for a video like this one, you can send us an email with your suggestions. In this video, we have learned how to create an expert advisor that uses the commodity channel index indicator to identify momentum shifts and open positions accordingly. We have also implemented a sophisticated trailing stop mechanism that adjusts stop losses based on recent price extremes, providing dynamic risk management. You have now coded your own expert advisor with just a few lines of MQL5 code that can automatically trade based on ICCI signals while protecting your positions with trailing stops. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.